You're watching The 7 from WATE 6 on your side.
Good evening, I'm Bo Williams, and welcome to The 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories that we're watching for you right now. And topping the list for us tonight, for the first time since having a run-in with city ordinances, we're getting to hear from the owner of Billiards and Brews. Now, the West Knoxville bar is in the spotlight again for allegedly violating city code, accused of storing alcoholic beverages for resale without a valid permit. Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission and Knoxville Police executed a search warrant at the bar last week. According to the city, they found alcohol on site, liquor was seized, and criminal citations were issued. However, the owner of the bar is saying his rights were violated and that he does have a proper license.
My bar was searched with a search warrant saying I had no liquor license. Well, the documentations that I'm going to provide you will show that I have a valid liquor license, and I have. From the January court hearing that they're referring to, I'm providing you with that and all the appeals and as they've gone forth and where they're at to show that it's still valid.
Now, we did reach out to our own legal counsel. We're told that although a petition was filed to the Davidson County Chancery Court for their license to be reinstated, it is unclear on whether that court has made a ruling yet on that request. We'll keep you posted. Next now on our list, a police officer in the Etowah community of McMinn County has been shot and a man is dead following a standoff. The police department tells us officers arrived to find a man who has not been identified assaulting a woman. A standoff followed. Now, we're told that several hours later, around 1 a.m., the man came out of the home and shots were fired. This is when the officer was hit. Etowah police say the man went back inside the home and was later found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We're told the officer who was shot only suffered minor injuries because he was wearing body armor. We're told officers did not fire any shots. The investigation continues tonight. Next now on our list, we're hearing back from the Sertoma Center about 2 former employees accused in a case of abuse. Now, we told you at midday that those 2 workers had been fired and charged with abuse of a vulnerable adult. Following an investigation dating back to March, records show a Sertoma staff member reported Elbert Sharp Jr. and Jacoby Stigall saying they abused their client and failed to report it. Those records say the victim in this case has cerebral palsy as well as several other health conditions. The Sertoma Center's website says it provides care for adults with developmental disabilities. In a statement sent out to us in the last couple of hours, the center says it took immediate steps to investigate, report, and terminate those workers. And, quote, "We trust the legal system will ensure other appropriate action is taken here." Next on our Big 7 list, a 7-year-old girl has died after a tree fell on a tent at the Elkmont campground. This happened last night. We're told the little girl and her family are from Georgia. Officials say her dad and 2 siblings were not hurt in this incident. According to first responders, the tree was about 2 feet in diameter. Right now, this campsite and those around it are closed, although Elkmont campground remains open tonight. Now, that ordeal reminded us of a deadly incident back at the start of the year, January 3rd to be exact, when a tree fell onto the bedroom of a rental house. It happened in Townsend, and it wasn't clear if the snow that night brought the tree down. The victim in that incident, by the way, was also a 7-year-old girl. Continuing our Big 7 coverage for you right now, first responders now identifying the man whose body was pulled from the Pigeon River last week. Cott County Sheriff's Office released its full incident report today, and we're told a father and his adult daughter were tubing down the river in the Hartford Road area of Cosby using the tube they brought with them. Now, they both went under the water, but a passing boat was able to pull the woman from the river. Her father, identified as Frankie Raymer, could not be pulled onto the boat and went under a second time, never resurfacing. Search crews were posted all along the river looking for Raymer, but ultimately a kayaker found his body about half a mile downstream. He was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the family, Raymer and his wife were visiting Cott County from North Carolina, camping in the area with their adult children. Next on the 7, a washed-out bridge is causing traffic headaches for some Sevier County drivers. Maybe it's one of you. We showed you this video earlier this week when Jones Cove Road near Wilhite Road flooded and then collapsed. TDOT closed it down indefinitely. Now, 6 on your side's Elizabeth Kubel went back to Sevier County today to talk to drivers that typically take that route, now having to readjust.
New video gives us an overhead view of the Sevier County Bridge collapse. The Jones Cove Road bridge buckled from heavy rain 2 days ago.
It's really bad right now. The bridge is completely gone.
For Candy Klein, that is particularly impactful. She takes this stretch of road to and from work every day.
I own a fruit stand in Cosby, so this is the easiest route for me instead of going through Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and all the traffic there.
For now, she's having to take alternate routes and back roads.
It tacks on a good 20, 25 minutes depending on traffic. So get to work a little later, but that's okay.
And as she readjusts, TDOT crews are on site. We watched trucks pull up to the closed road today.
I had no words when it first happened. I couldn't believe it happened. But it has needed work done. You know, it needs work done. So hopefully this will solve that issue.
Documents reveal the same. A report from earlier this year gives bridges sufficiency ratings. The Jones Cove Road Bridge scored a 22.9 out of 100. A score below 50 qualifies bridges for replacement.
I hope they get it fixed better. We don't have any more problems like this.
I also reached out to the Sevier County school system, and I'm told that the director of transportation is working with bus drivers whose routes are impacted by this bridge collapse. They also tell me that they are planning to let parents know final details next week. Reporting in Sevier County, I'm Elizabeth Kubel, WATE 6 on your side.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And we're rounding out the Big 7 with a final tribute to an Army veteran who spent decades serving his country. 93-year-old Dewey Jackson left Maryville High School to join the Army at the end of World War II, returning to the Army in 1950 during the Korean War.
He was in high school at the time and World War II was going on, and he really was wanting to be part of that. So, in his wanting to be part of that, he actually was 15 years old and tried to get into the Army, but they wouldn't let him because of his age. It was a suture. So I think he fibbed and got into National Guard, and then he could just step over a couple months later over into regular Army, and nobody questioned anything.
Eventually, Jackson would deploy to Vietnam, then Germany, working as an air traffic controller and as a military police officer. His children tell us their father was married to their mother for 70 years. Jackson earned the Bronze Star and the Air Medal during his service, eventually retiring as a command sergeant major in 1979.